Gibson here, and today I'm going to be discussing a topic of beginner gains basically, and how to break through beginner gains. So I'm discussing this topic because one of you have actually commented on one of my latest videos and asked me to do this video, so I've done it within the next 3 days I think. So if you do have any questions, anything you want me to do a video on, I will get them out as soon as possible, probably within a week of you asking the question. So just drop me anything in the comments that you want to know, so anything you're interested in. Beginner gains. So most people, whenever they step in the gym, they will have beginner gains and they will think, oh, this is easy or something like that. But the reason that you actually do have beginner gains is because your body reacts to change. So to do anything in life, to get something, to get somewhere, to get whatever you want, something has to change. You can't just say, oh, I want to start up a company, I want to be the fastest sprinter in the world or something, without actually doing something about it. So you've got to change the way that you do something to get there. So if you say you did want to be a sprinter, you've got to obviously train more, you've got to sprint obviously, you've got to do distances, different distances. You don't just say, oh, the 100-meter sprint, I'm going to do that, I'm going to sprint that, sprint that, sprint that. Because you probably won't improve that much. You've got to change the way you do it, you've got to change the style of training and stuff like that. So basically, first of all, what happens is with beginner gains, the reason you get beginner gains is because you probably forget about eating and nutrition and how important that is for now, just as an example of why you get beginner gains. So you probably don't care about eating, you probably eat the same way you always did, but what you're doing differently is you've stepped in the gym, you've lifted weights, your body's never done this before, so your body's reacting to the change and it's gaining muscle, and you're thinking, oh my god, this is easy, look at me, I'm gaining all this muscle, and you know, it's easy, I'm just lifting weights, I'm going through the motions, probably don't have a clue what's going on. Everyone starts there, so no, I'm gonna go with you, I'm just saying this is how everyone starts. But then what happens is you start to plateau, and then you start to, your progression just goes up like that, and then it plateaus off like that. To keep that really going up in a direct proportion, you have to keep changing stuff and shock your body. I know it sounds like cliche or something saying shock your body, but let me explain how you can do this. In regards to training, you've got to train differently all the time. So week by week, every single week can't be the same. Obviously it can be some weeks, but if you really want to shock your body and get the most amount of growth or the most amount of strength out of whatever you're trying to, whatever your goal is, you have to change the way you train every week. So for instance, like last week was just standard hypertrophy for me. It was training between the 8 and 12 rep range, and just 3 to 4 sets, and just basically thinking about the contractions and everything, the mind-muscle connection and all that. But the training was pretty standard. So this week now is bumping up the intensity. I'm into my control week, so I'm doing a lot of pause reps, a lot of isometric contractions. So that's going to be the intensity change of this week. And then the week after that, it's going to be a lot of supersets, a lot of drop sets. Then the week after that might be forced reps, negative reps, GVT sets, so 10 reps, 10 sets. And then it'll be like volume work, so I'll be doing like 10 sets on one exercise, but I'll be doing like 20 reps, 15 reps, 12 reps, 10 reps, 8 reps, 4 reps, 6 reps, 2 reps, so the weight is going heavier and heavier, and I'm hitting my 1 rep maxes, and then I'm going back down. So that's the training side of things. You need to be switching things up all the time when you're training. But on the nutrition side of it, which is probably the most important part, even if you are switching up the way you're training, if you're not thinking about nutrition now, so you've got past the beginner gain stage, if you're not thinking about nutrition, then you're not going to keep gaining muscle. It's simple as that. This is why. What you're eating for your body, if you haven't been going to the gym, it's been enough to keep you going, because obviously you're just going to eat when you're hungry and you're going to get enough for your body, because if you don't have a clue what's going on. As you start to train, so now you're going to the gym say 4 or 5 times a week, you're lifting weights, you get your beginner gains, you're thinking it's easy, and then you start to plateau. So you've hit that plateau now, the first plateau. You think, right, okay, I'm gonna look into it then. I'm gonna find out why I'm hitting this plateau and how to get past it. And you find out how important nutrition is, because it is the most important thing. I can't stress enough how important it is, because if it was a choice between training and nutrition, you'd have to go nutrition, because your body simply can't function without it. So basically what you need to be doing is, I work off macros, so I know the ideal amount of protein, carbs and fats my body needs to function and how hard I train. So, and what you're not doing is probably, which I'm assuming now, is probably the most reason why you're actually plateauing off, even if you've been doing this for like a long time. I'm not just talking about beginner gains now, because there's many stages of beginner gains. So you've started doing nutrition now, so you start eating a bit better. So you break through the first beginner gains plateau, and you get through that, and you start making more gains, and then you hit another plateau. And this is happening because, say now you started eating clean, say you started eating like 3-4 meals a day of good quality meals, so you're having a lot of chicken or high protein meals, and you're having a lot of carbs, you're having good fats in there, and your body is supported by nutrition for the weight workouts that you're doing. This is what happens next. So your body then you're growing, you're getting bigger, you're gaining more muscle, so you've got more muscle to support now. So then them meals that you're eating is only enough for that. If you've plateaued, it means that what you're eating is enough to sustain that weight and sustain that muscle. If you want to keep gaining and you don't want to hit a plateau, you've got to update your macros or update the amount of food that you're eating. It's gotta be a continuous cycle. So you've got to have this cycle of eat more, get bigger, eat more, get bigger, eat more, get bigger, eat more, get bigger, and that'll go on for as long as you want to keep gaining, basically. So every 2 weeks, what I do is I update my macros. So say 1 week I'm on, I'll say what I'm on now. So I'm on, at the moment, I'm doing my get big thing. I've been on it for 8 months. I haven't hit a plateau in the full 8 months of bulking, and I've gone from 74 kilos to just over 90 kilos in that time, and my body fat has stayed relatively low. So it's been sort of a lean bulk, and what's happened is every 2 weeks I've changed my macros depending on how lean I am and depending on my body weight and my activity level, so how active I am outside the gym, which isn't much. It's not about your training, it's about your body changing. So no matter if you're training more, if you're training the same, but obviously with different intensity techniques, and then you're going up in body weight and the muscle you've got, you need to support that with more weight. You need more protein, more food, you need more protein to support that amount of muscle, and you need that little bit extra to make sure you have enough in your system to help you grow. So, and then as soon as you grow a little bit more, you've got to update your macros again. You've got to eat more carbs, you've got to eat more protein, you've got to eat more fats, and everything's got to go up. The calories has got to go up. So say now you're weighing like 90 kilos like I am now. My maintenance level of calories will be way higher than someone who's 50 kilos. They're going to need to eat way less than what I'm going to need to eat, because I'm much bigger. And that's because the way it is. I'm not saying like you should be eating as much as me. I'm saying you should be eating enough to put yourself in a surplus, or whatever you're doing. If you're trying to cut, you need to keep sure, if you're losing weight, if you've lost 5 kilos and you're still eating the same amount, your fat loss will start to plateau, and you've got to decrease your calories again for the amount of body weight you are now. So basically what I'm saying is, just don't pick a number and say, right, I'm going to eat 2,500 calories a day, or I'm going to eat 3,000 calories a day. You can't just stick to that for the whole 12 weeks of your bulk or whatever you're doing. You've got to change it weekly, every 2 weeks. I do every 2 weeks, and that way you won't hit the plateau. So any more questions, just let me know in the comments about this video, and if you want to see any more videos, just comment below, and subscribe for plenty more videos every day like this. So I'll see you in a bit.